Greetings, Earthlings. Yes, this is Randy Jimmy James Bowles broadcasting from Seattle, Washington. And as you can see, I've got my wonderful beatnik hat on because I'm a beatnik, and one of my 10 or even maybe 12 turtlenecks. Oh, and while we're at it, let me give you a fashion tip about turtlenecks because since I have so many and I've been a beatnik since I was a little boy, you can kind of consider me a go-to authority when it comes to turtleneck usage. And the thing is, look at this. You don't fold them this way. You tuck them under. That's right, you tuck them under. And when I learned that, I immediately ran to my closet, flung open the door, and I fixed all 10 or 12 of them. So now when I need to wear one, the tuck has been accomplished. I thought you might like to know that. Today's story is about a local rapper named Macklemore. Now you could say, how does this 74-year-old guy even know who Macklemore is? Well, the answer to that is very easy. In reality, I fell into a wormhole. I'm 27 years old. I woke up in this old man's body. I don't even know who he is. And the weird thing is I have his memory too. I'm 27 and I can think back to 1952. Something went dreadfully wrong, but I'm making the best of it, and I'm sharing all of his memories here on the YouTube. And again, this story is about Macklemore. It's also about food, so for all you foodies out there, you can say, oh, Randy Bowles does a food blog too. Well, you know I like to be versatile in my old age. Let's get started with the story. I simply have to execute the proper clippage. Oh, I did it. Sometimes I impress myself so much. All right, I want you to sit back and relax. I'm even going to have a sip of coffee before I start. Not because I need it, but because I want it. This is Seattle. I'm drinking it out of a Christmas mug. For me, Christmas lasts all year. Just get a little of the coffee off my lips here and get started. The story is called I Got Free Pizza, but Macklemore got the last laugh. I've been eating the same hippie vegetarian food since 1974. That's a long time. When I converted from the guy who needed to have meat every day in order not to feel, well, poor, to a guy who never, ever, ever eats meat, I began putting together my own little 3-ring binder cookbook full of easy recipes. Tip: if you convert to a vegetarian or vegan diet, it really helps to know how to cook for yourself. When I made the cookbook, I wrote Randy's Easy / Good Dinners on a piece of paper and slipped it into the clear plastic cover. When I got married, my wife made a new label for it which said Randy and Sally Joe's favorite recipes. When we got divorced, I turned that piece of paper over and wrote Randy's Easy / Good Dinners on it again. But yeah, it's the same 3-ring binder with the same recipes, and I finally got sick of making and eating them. Black beans coriander may sound exotic. Baked veggies a la moosewood, you might have to look that up, may sound mouth-watering good to you. But 50 years of eating those dishes over and over again can get to you. Well, it got to me. Coincidentally, right around the time I knew I couldn't stomach one more serving of lentil loaf from the kitchen of Randy Bowles, I moved to a new neighborhood. I moved into a swinging senior apartment building. Well, all but one word of that is true. And I found myself living within easy walking distance of one of Seattle's favorite pizza joints, the near legendary Pagliacci Pizza. Hard to pronounce, harder to spell. Now, I was the kind of guy who never ate out since I could cook, but being sick of my cooking, I stopped in and bought a slice, and I was on my way to being hooked. Pagliacci offers a different variety of pizza, vegetarian pizza, every day, and they're all delicious. I returned the next day, had a slice, enjoyed it, and walked home to do a little figuring. First, I determined that I lived 3.5 blocks from the place, so I would get 7 blocks of walking in every day at a minimum. A healthy thing. Then I did some quick math. I realized that if I could get by with 1 slice per day, I could eat at Pagliacci for the same amount of money I'd been spending when I cooked at home. So I decided I would just eat pizza for a while and see how that went. I soon made friends with the restaurant's entire staff. The friendly, interesting young people appreciated me appreciating them. They told me not everyone is nice to the help. Restaurant workers often end up having a lot of abuse piled on them during a shift. Well, my motto is this. I try to treat people the same whether they're a barrister or barista. So I made friends with the Pagliacci crew. Walking in every night was like walking into Cheers for me. Once the crew even gave me a Christmas card. My favorite worker, Cassidy, signed the card, Mrs. Randy Bowles. Yeah, in my dreams. But I mean, she actually did sign it that way. Well, one evening I dropped in around 6 p.m. for my now customary slice. Since I was an everyday guest, I had learned to take advantage of the Pagliacci slice card promotion. The place gave out little cards which the cashier stamped every time you bought a slice. After you bought 12 slices, the next slice would be on the house. So there I was in line, just standing there, quietly waiting my turn to order, not bothering anyone, not really paying attention to my surroundings. But then I did, because I noticed that the guy in front of me was Seattle's own Macklemore. He was handing one of my Pagliacci friends a small wad of bills with which he paid for his order. My friend thanked him and told him how much she enjoyed his music. He quietly thanked her back and walked over to the soft drink dispenser to serve himself a cold drink. I walked up to the cash register and handed my completely filled out slice card to my pal in order to get my free slice of pizza. She gave me a sweet smile and said, "Thanks, Randy, here's your free pizza." I took it from her, and then I laughed out loud. I said, "It's funny. Macklemore had to pay for his slice, and I got mine for free." At that point, another of my pals, Corey, the shift leader, walked over and said, "That's because he's Macklemore, and you're Randy Bowles." I broke out in an even bigger grin and started to walk away with my free pizza. Young Corey winked at me and said, "And besides, I think he can afford it." Tragically, I had to quit eating at Pagliacci. I had to totally walk away. Forever. Because I got too fat. Even on just 1 slice per day. All that cheese, I guess. I have about 20 pairs of pants. Everything from Dockers to cutoffs I made myself to overalls. When 3/4 of them stopped fitting, I knew that was the end. I had the Dunlop effect, or the Dunlap effect. My belly Dunlapped over my belt. My final Pagliacci slice card will never be filled out. When I die and they haul me out of my senior apartment and go through my things, someone will say, he had 10 slices to go, as they slip my card into their pocket. And yeah, tonight home-cooked Woodstock veggies and rice is on the menu. How long ago was Woodstock? When do I get to stop being a hippie? I saw a photo of Macklemore the other day. He looked slim and trim. I guess he got the last laugh. Okay, here's your dessert. Once I decided to quit eating at Pagliacci, I never went back. Sometimes when I go by the place, I look in the window and I wave at Mrs. Randy Bowles. You know, it was a lucky coincidence that I had 12 stamps on my slice card when I went in for pizza that evening. Otherwise, I would have no story. I mean, I could say, hey, I saw Macklemore at Pagliacci. Big deal. I saw Queen's Reich at a local cafe in the mid-90s, and nothing happened. Sad, sad update. Pagliacci's owners have closed the location. Gosh, I hope my free slice wasn't the straw that broke the camel's back. Bye-bye.